Let me say something that could save you a lot of pain. Love bombing is not intensity. It is accelerated control. And a lot of women need to hear that until it stops sounding dramatic and starts sounding true. Because when someone comes into your life moving too fast, feeling too strong, saying too much, promising too early, and flooding you with attention before there is enough reality to hold it, that is not always romance. Sometimes it is strategy. Sometimes it is someone trying to create emotional dependence faster than trust can naturally form. And that is why it feels so overwhelming, because real love has time in it. Real love can breathe. Real love can tolerate pacing. Real love does not need to rush your nervous system in order to secure your attachment. But love bombing is different. Love bombing is excessive affection without corresponding foundation. It is intensity without history, closeness without process, promises without proof. It feels like being seen too quickly, chosen too quickly, adored too quickly, needed too quickly. And if you have ever been starved of tenderness, that can feel intoxicating. It can feel healing. It can feel like finally someone who knows how to love. But that is what makes it dangerous, because not everything that feels intense is intimate. Not everything that feels overwhelming is deep. Sometimes it is simply too much too soon for a reason. Now, let me slow this down. Love bombing often sounds beautiful in the beginning. Constant texts, big declarations, early future talk, excessive praise, over the top affection. A kind of urgency that makes you feel like something rare is happening. And because many women have been underloved, overlooked, and emotionally starved, that kind of intensity can feel like relief. But relief is not always safety. Sometimes relief is what makes you lower your guard before you have enough information. That is why love bombing works. It does not always target your weakness. Sometimes it targets your longing to be chosen, your longing to be cherished, your longing to finally stop being careful, your longing to feel special, secure, pursued, wanted. And when someone floods those places too quickly, your body can mistake activation for alignment. And that is one of the important things I need women to understand. Activation is not alignment. Just because your heart is racing does not mean your spirit is at peace. Just because someone is emotionally intense does not mean they are emotionally safe. Just because something feels powerful does not mean it is pure. Because the function of love bombing is not simply affection, it is acceleration. It is trying to move you past discernment and into emotional commitment before consistency has had time to reveal character. And that matters because discernment needs time. Discernment watches patterns. Discernment notices whether words remain truer after excitement settles. Discernment needs enough space to see who a person is when they are not trying to impress you. But love bombing does not like space. It does not like pace. It does not like the slow unveiling of reality. It wants immediacy. It wants emotional fusion. It wants access before wisdom has had time to intervene. Because when affection is used to rush attachment, your ability to think clearly under pressure begins to weaken. You start making decisions from emotional momentum instead of grounded clarity. You start overriding questions you should normally ask. You start dismissing inconsistencies because the affection feels so good. You start trusting the feeling more than the facts. And that is the trap. Because love bombing is not always making you feel loved. Sometimes it is about making you feel attached before you are informed. And that is why I say it is accelerated control. It is trying to speed up access, speed up trust, speed up loyalty, speed up emotional investment, speed up your willingness to give someone the privileges of intimacy before they have demonstrated the character to hold them well. And once that speed has worked, once you are attached, once you are emotionally invested, once the fantasy has taken root, then the dynamic often changes. The intensity drops, the inconsistency begins, the confusion enters, and now you are left trying to recover the version of them that first appeared. That is another reason love bombing is so psychologically destabilizing, because it creates a standard of affection that feels like truth then withdraws it in a way that makes you question yourself. You start asking, what changed? What did I do wrong? Was it real? Was I too much? Was I not enough? How did something that felt so powerful become so unstable? And many women blame themselves at that point. The problem was that someone used intensity to outrun honesty. And I need to say something else here. Not every intense person is manipulative. Not every strong beginning is safe. Sometimes people are just excited. Sometimes feelings are real. But discernment does not ask only, does this feel good? Discernment asks, what is the space preventing me from saying? That question can save you, because unhealthy intensity often functions like a bright light. It blinds more than it reveals. It makes everything look vivid while hiding the lack of structure underneath it. So if someone is coming on very strong, very fast, pay attention not just to what they are saying, pay attention to what the speed is doing to you. Is it making you feel grounded, or is it making you feel swept up? Is it helping you think clearly, or is it making you bypass your own questions? Is it creating safety, or is it creating urgency? Because love does not need urgency to become real. Love can wait long enough to be known properly. Love can let truth unfold. Love can tolerate the pace required for trust to form honestly. Love does not need to overwhelm you in order to reach you. And some of you need to hear this very clearly. You are not cold because you slow things down. You are not damaged because you want consistency more than chemistry. You are not afraid of love because you refuse to let intensity make decisions for you. That is not fear. That is wisdom. That is self-respect. And that is what it looks like when a woman stops confusing emotional flooding with emotional safety. Because the right person does not need to overwhelm you to be loved by you. The right person can move at the speed of truth. And truth is never afraid of time. This is Redefine Your Narrative. And maybe the narrative you need to redefine is this. Not everything that feels intense is love. Sometimes it is pressure wearing the perfume of romance. God bless you.